This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.
Hey, and welcome to another episode of the kjandapodcast. My name is Jay, and my name is Kevin. I'm the K. And today, after our last episode of rejoining ourselves and rejoining our audience,
Our audience?
Yes.
What is that word?
Operance?
That's not a word either.
Audience.
Audience. Okay, there we go.
I did it. I did it.
Okay, you did English.
It happens sometimes.
I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, I got ahead of myself. Tongue got tied.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah. But yeah, we got back together. We're doing a thing. And today we're going to talk about our take on Deadpool and Wolverine.
Honestly, past hour and a half, we've been bullshitting about Deadpool and anything else.
Yeah, like actual Deadpool first issue.
Yeah, like first issue because I couldn't
one.
remember who the illustrator was for the first issue that I have, and I was wrong.
December of 1996.
Yes.
Ed McGinnis.
97.
97. Well,
97. That's what it said on the internet.
It might have been released in 97, but it might have been done in 96.
Look, the important thing is we're drunk.
That's fair enough.
And we're going to talk about Deadpool and Wolverine. And this motherfucker was talking about wanting to break it into segments. No, sir.
No, I mean, not even segments.
No.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to start this off with a segment.
Go on.
Just a question.
Okay.
Who was your favorite Wolverine from the movie? Now, almost every single Wolverine was played by Hugh Jackman. But there was one that was not played by Hugh Jackman.
Okay, you're talking about, when he came up with the motorcycle and he was like, oh yeah, this is it.
He was from the back he really looked like, and he turns around, holy fuck! Holy shit! So,
I like the OG.
Okay, so you're talking now. Hold on. OG Hugh Jackman. You're talking about the literal bones that we're seeing in the opening sequence. Logan?
No.
Logan?
I'm talking about OG, like the OG of the movie, not OG of Logan. Because I watched Logan and I didn't finish. Before this movie, I was like, my goal is to finish Logan, and I got all the way through, aside from 30 minutes. Of the end of the movie. Yeah, last 30 minutes.
Oh, him versus X-24?
He did not even meet her. And so I watched the movie and I was like, oh, Logan be dead.
Yes.
Yeah. So news to me.
Yeah.
Logan be dead. And I was like, oh. And then that whole first bye scene.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is quality ass shit. And granted, I was distracted this whole movie. So I tried to pay attention. But mostly I paid attention. Okay. Honestly. But I did have some familial distractions, which I've told you off camera.
Fair.
So, watching this, I think,
No, we're still talking about Wolverine.
No, we're still talking about Wolverine.
Oh, yeah.
But that first scene with the OG Wolverine, where he was like, you're supposed to not be dead. And he was digging him up, and he was like, son of a bitch! And he fought all of them with
adamantium bones.
That was funny as shit.
Of course, you gotta have those comic accurate, like, how is he breaking off the bones if adamantium is unbreakable?
Shut up, bitch.
It's a Deadpool movie. Just enjoy it.
Like this is Deadpool. You're supposed to just be like, okay.
Sorry, we're not.
Shit is crazy. He's breaking the fourth wall. It's what Deadpool does.
Let's keep it 100.
Yes.
Deadpool's not real.
He's not real.
Adamantium is not real.
Yes.
They can do whatever the fuck they want.
Yeah, they can decide what adamantium is weak to and what adamantium is. Susceptible to.
This Logan has been dead for how many years in the ground? He's been dead long enough that he is decomposed. There is only a little bit of flesh.
Only bones.
Yeah, that's it. So, yeah, his connective tissues we're not coded in adamantium.
We don't care. The point is, Deadpool was fighting with parts of Logan, and it was funny as shit, because when you go into a Deadpool movie, you're like, okay,
it's gonna be fucking extreme.
It's gonna be extreme, and you're just gonna be like, I'll just accept it as it goes. It's like you have to blend everything in between, and it's just you have to accept the beginning and the end.
Yes.
There's no how they get there.
Yeah.
Does not matter.
No.
Does not. It, like all the middle shit.
It's all jokes, references.
It's like whether you get there with
content.
Right.
It's always.
It's like content. Whether you get to the end with a smooth transition, like any of the old Marvel movies, or whether you get there with whatever bullshit happened in the Deadpool movie. You get to the end and you're like, okay, this is where we ended up. This is how things ended. The part in the middle, bullshit. It's Deadpool. Deadpool can do whatever the fuck he wants. He can break the fourth and the fifth wall.
Mm-hmm.
He can do whatever he wants.
All right. So I'm gonna give you a list.
Please go on.
All right. So we've got height accurate Wolverine.
Right.
We've got the brown and tan suit. Brown and yellow. Okay. We've got the Loserine, who is our, I guess, main Wolverine, with the blue and yellow suit.
You leave him alone. Look, that is the OG.
No. Logan's the OG. He's a corpse. We're talking about this.
I'm talking about
comic accurate costume. Comic accurate.
Comic accurate.
Blue, yellow,
and black.
Blue and yellow.
Yeah. No, I'm not.
Blue and yellow.
Okay. Blue and yellow.
Age of Apocalypse Wolverine.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that is the OG.
The Cavalrine. Henry Cavill. Cavalrine.
Okay. Yes. Okay. Henry Cavill. They just like showed his face for 2 seconds.
You were just leaving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that shit was hot.
That was a good cameo. I was like, okay. That was funny as shit.
Old man Logan, who shot him off the porch.
Yes. Yes.
I would even give you the Logan that was on the X Cross. Very, very dystopian. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because at this point, we were recording.
Yeah.
But I haven't watched this in like
a few weeks.
A month.
Yeah. It's been a while. Since the initial opening of the movie.
Yes. Because we watched it at a proper time.
Oh yeah, we
both did for the first time ever.
And then just life happened.
And we were like, fuck it. Fuck this.
The last one I'll give you is Patch.
What is Patch?
Eye patch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But I mean,
like of those eight Wolverine variants,
I like the OG only because I am always a sucker for the original storyline.
Okay.
Just like the original Captain America, the original Iron Man.
Okay.
I'm always a sucker for the storyline that's the original, like, coming of age story.
Where they start.
Yes, where they start. And so the original Logan and Wolverine is where I'm going to stick.
Okay, so you're going to say the original X-Men Wolverine, the one who did become Logan thanks to all the time-traveling craziness from, like, Days of Future Past and...
No, I don't. I have not watched any.
Well, then, I mean, technically that would be Hugh Jackman's initial
No,
Wolverine.
I just want... No, they're doing it wrong. Like, they just shove Wolverine in the old Days of Future Past and whatever bullshit.
I mean,
I watched the first X-Men. Okay, when...
so Hugh, when he was just starting out...
Yes, he was just starting out.
So you would say
and
that's
then
your Wolverine.
Ended it... Uh-huh. No, listen.
Okay.
They ended it with Jean Grey becoming Phoenix. No. And then they took the Phoenix for the next 2 or 3 episodes. And those two movies, like, burn me? Or, like... I did not want to watch anymore. After that, the Cyclops of that era was perfect.
Oh yeah, James Marsden was awesome.
James Marsden was awesome, but and the Wolverine of that time was awesome. But the story that they gave for the second and third X-Men, and then they went to Days of Future Past with Apocalypse and Psylocke and all that nonsense, it didn't suck me in, so I didn't watch any of those. Any of the newer, the last 3 X-Men at all.
Okay, so you stuck primarily with Hugh Jackman as the character of Wolverine.
Yes, and then that's when I was like, no, fuck this. Like, the rest of it was bullshit. I watched the second one, and I was like, no. This was terrible. Like, they went the first one, but then they immediately went to the Phoenix Saga, which is where
it seems like it just dies.
It feels like any movie that goes to, or any series that ends up at the Phoenix Saga with Jean Grey is like, it's dead.
Except for the animated series, which doesn't make sense.
Even with the animated series, it doesn't make sense.
I thought the animated series did a fine job with bringing Jean back for the most part.
Okay, the newest one is fine.
I mean, yeah.
But they did the Phoenix Saga, and I'm like, stop with the Phoenix. The Phoenix is not defining.
No, if you're going to bring the Phoenix into live action, you have to set up that whole. The X-Men have gone to space.
Yes,
they've met.
The X-Men have been a solid team for so long, and then it's like, oh, then suddenly one of our team is fucked up and is controlling the universe with the Phoenix.
Yeah, but every time she gets the Phoenix, she literally goes on a fucking rampage and like murders shit tons of people.
Yeah, and
so destroys everything. Like, really? That's really not how it was. Like, she had control of it, and then she lost control of it because the Phoenix was like, I have emotions now, so I like having emotions, and she just fed off negative emotions instead of positive emotions. But no,
whatever.
Again, when you start getting to the cosmic things of this, you have to have proper grounding, and they didn't do that with within either take of the Phoenix. Both from Bryan Singer's trilogy and from the New Class.
No, I did not like it. The first episode was okay, but once they drained that lake,
yeah, that was dumb.
I was like,
no, and she just kills Scott. No. That's
not how it goes, because Scott is a staple.
Yeah, he stays.
He is always he's what grounds the Phoenix and Jean Grey. And he's gone, and suddenly you're like,
yep, she's just gonna go on a fucking rampage.
How are you gonna go continue this?
Yeah.
Fuck that. Yeah. So my point is, Deadpool and Wolverine. The OG Wolverine that is in this movie, where he's like, oh, I killed everyone. So he was being drunk at the bar.
Blue and yellow.
Yes.
Going for the blue and yellow suit.
Because when he pulled that face mask over...
Oh, yeah, that was what I was...
I was like...
I'm sorry.
Okay. This is not the best Deadpool episode, but when he pulled that over and he had the white eyes, I was like, thank you.
I mean, every fanboy. Finally seeing him in the yellow and blue suit.
I lost my shit. Thank you.
2, when he going against the Deadpool core and he pulled the fucking cowl over.
Thank you. That was so...
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
That is the epitome of Wolverine right there.
Yes, because that has never been done.
No, because, again, the whole reason they had them in black leather the entire time during the 90s was because the Matrix did so well.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh, so everybody should be in black leather.
Yeah. No.
No, don't do that. No, don't do that. Stop it.
No.
But hey, it led to other superhero costumes that were not spandex.
Look, they did Deadpool, and they gave him those white eyes.
Yes.
And
thank you,
when
CGI.
Thank you. I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah.
Like if they did Spider-Man, when they did the
Tobey Maguire.
No, I'm trying to control my lips.
Oh.
Because I'm drunk. I'm drunk as fuck.
We have been drinking a while.
I've been drinking a while, and it's 5 o'clock. I've not done this in so long. Okay.
It has been a while. It has been a while.
When they did Spider-Man.
Okay.
And they controlled his eyes.
Yes.
It's such a minor thing. But they controlled Spider-Man's eyes. Then they switched to Deadpool. Mm-hmm. And, they cover his face, and they give him the white eyes. Just like any other comic book hero, whatever.
Yeah.
But when they give Wolverine and they cover his eyes with the... And what did Deadpool call it? He called it the handhold face fucker holders. Look, they call them the face fucker holders, whatever. Even though at this point I'd realized that this was not my favorite Deadpool movie... I was so happy when he covered his face with that Wolverine mask. Because that whole fight, even though it was lackluster at best. When he was fighting all the other Deadpools. It did feel short. It felt short. It felt like bullshit. Honestly.
When you think about it, why would the Deadpool Corps even align themselves?
Why would they align themselves together? Come against another Deadpool. What is the point?
Yeah.
And Wolverine, there's no reason for this. And this is... We'll get to the rating at the end.
Oh, yeah.
But my point is... The main point is him covering his face with the Wolverine mask. That, of all the entire movie, aside from him fighting with Wolverine's pieces, was my favorite part of the entire movie. It was him covering his face with the Wolverine mask and fighting as the OG Wolverine, black and yellow, fighting...
You keep saying black and yellow. It's blue and yellow.
No!
Yes!
It's black and yellow and blue and yellow. There's a combination of both. And there's also the brown and yellow.
Yes, the brown and yellow.
There is a combination of all of those. Regardless, he fought in the original colors. He had the original... And Deadpool had the pieces of Logan fighting, which was, longer than expected.
They really wanted to milk that opening.
They milked the fuck out of that opening. Bye.
Thank you, Dancepool.
Thank you. Insane. But my point was, they milked the shit out of it, and those are the only good parts, in my opinion.
In your opinion. Okay.
Because him pulling down his cowl and having the white eyes, I was like, okay. They are working hard to love the fans.
Yeah, I will give you that. I think they really did do a lot of fan service for this movie. And yeah, the story was
90%.
Yeah, the
fan service.
The story was kind of wonky, but then again, we have to think because it's kind of in the same X-Men timeline as everything else that's happened in the Fox universe, and they're bringing it over into the MCU.
There's so much.
So, Days of Apocalypse caused Days of Future Past caused time changes, and then Wade at the end of Deadpool 2 went back and did some changes of his own to change his timeline as well. So all those changes culminated in what we now know as the timeline for
the Prime timeline.
Well, at least for Deadpool. Because still, it's weird. Because at the end of the movie, you're like, okay, so he went to talk to Happy. But was that Happy in the MCU? Or was that Happy in the Fox universe?
Yeah.
So I still feel very confused about that point.
That shit was so fun. That was
it seems like he's in the main MCU timeline. It still seems like it's in the MCU timeline.
Yeah, it seems like it's the MCU timeline, but the jokes that he puts with the staples.
Oh yeah, for his freaking toupee.
That shit was so funny.
It's a hair system.
It's so funny. And he steps outside of his apartment and is like,
Yeah.
you guys really want to argue with this? And then his toupee
Yeah.
is all that's left.
Like, I'm not... So he goes back in time. He saves X-Force. Okay.
Right.
But
because it's always like Deadpool and in the Marvel universe what was his best friend's name? Deadpool.
Talking about Bob?
Dead Bob? No.
Hydra Bob.
No.
Talking about
There
Weasel?
there was the one who was dressed up like Deadpool, but was fat at the end of it, and they were like, "Hey, good
Peter.
deal with Peter, Dead Peter, yeah, Peter Bob or whatever," and like
Just
all
Peter.
the Deadpools swarmed
Oh, yeah.
to Peter. My point was that like Deadpool was cut off at I'm drunk as fuck.
Come on now. You can do it. I believe in you.
I can do this.
So sorry, folks. You can do this. Come on.
Go for it.
Okay. So, I hear you're trying to talk about Peter and X-Force. Okay? So, if Deadpool went back in time using Cable's time slider, okay? So, he saved Peter, but you also see he saved Shatterstar. So, did he save Zeitgeist and Vanisher and Bedlam as well? Domino didn't make an appearance. Cable didn't make an appearance. But he saved X-Force. Now, with that being said, where the fuck is everybody? Why didn't everybody come to this fucking birthday party? I mean,
because that
was he
birthday
that-
party at the
semi-beginning.
I mean,
it was Wade's
place,
birthday.
same place that Loki was at.
Oh, at the TVA? Yeah.
The TVA with when they hit them with the
Yeah. Jabby.
baton,
Yeah.
and then they get sent back to Xavier's sister.
Oh,
and
yeah, in the void.
Juggernaut, and like fucking Chris Evans.
Oh, yeah, it's friggin' Johnny Storm. Yeah.
Oh my god, when he took off he was like, "We're saved! It's fucking Captain America!" And he took off the outfit and he was like, "Flame on!" And I was like, "Get the fuck out of here." He really agreed to this.
Yeah.
No, when Chris Evans agrees to be Johnny Storm,
Yeah.
it's because he agrees to be about the fans.
Yeah.
Not about he's not about the money, he's about the fans. And he's just like, fuck this, I'll pretend to be Johnny Storm. And then the after credit scene, when he's like, when he repeats Deadpool, word for word.
You mean what Wade repeated from him in the cage? Like, how did you hijack these cameras? When did you do this? How did you do this, Wade?
Yeah.
Wade does everything. So, yeah.
That shit was so funny when they had him repeat that word for word. I'm like, how much money did you pay Chris Evans
to be that
vulgar piece of shit? Like,
I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is.
I mean, I'll be honest, you gotta run this shit. I am hammered.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay. All right. Here's another question for you. From this movie, what was your favorite cameo?
There were so many!
I mean,
there were so many.
We finally got to see Channing Tatum as Gambit.
I mean,
After
I thought
trying
that
to
he
get
was,
a live-action
even
movie
the whole
done.
time, Channing Tatum was Gambit the whole time. I felt like he was bullshit. Every time he opened his mouth, I was like, shut up. Every time. I thought of all of them, it would either be Chris Evans
Okay.
or Blade.
Okay, so Wesley Snipes played.
Both Wesley Snipes, when he showed up, he had genuine storyline improvisation. Like, he was continuing the storyline. He's like, I'm the only Blade in this fucking timeline.
Yeah, I'm like, so I feel like I'm not sure who wrote the line, but again, when you think about it, it's like, okay, Mahershala Ali's freaking Blade movie has been delayed, writers have been taken out, come back on, directors have been lost. Like, is this movie ever going to happen?
No, it will not.
So, it feels like it's going to be something that happens after Secret Wars. At this point.
Yep. Like, I mean, but it would be appropriate after.
It makes more sense that if this Secret Wars movie actually follows some of the tropes from the comics, where like Doom literally merges multiple realities into one to create a single world.
Yeah,
and then we get a soft. Like I said, it's supposed to be a soft reboot of the cinematic universe. So then it makes sense for vampires to now exist, because we've never heard about vampires in the MCU.
Yeah, since then. Since fucking
Since when? There's been no vampires in the MCU.
Since
the only creatures that you could talk about will probably be Blade even made a small soft appearance at the very end of Eternals.
He
just spoke.
They don't even exist.
Yeah.
In Eternals.
No.
But I'm talking about
Supernatural.
The vampire. No, I'm talking about the vampire. Shit. I can't remember his name. When he was on the ship.
Oh, Morbius?
Morbius.
No.
Morbius.
Because that's
Morbius
Sony now.
is the closest.
Yeah, but that's Sony. And Sony still holding on to the Spider-Man rights as much as possible.
Just sell it.
It's not going to happen.
Sony, just sell it.
It's not going to happen.
They're not going to sell Spider-Man. They want that money. I know it says sodium. Shut up.
They're not selling salt?
I am drunk as shit right now. You shut your mouth. I've not been drunk in so long. Shut your mouth. Spider-Man with Morbius. Morbius is the one that I'm thinking.
Yeah, he would be the vampire.
But Blade, there shouldn't even be the same.
I mean, had everything still been under the Marvel umbrella at Disney, yes, I could see Blade and Morbius having that, like, oh, we fought, but we're cool now.
Yeah.
Or it's very
we suck blood. That is the only.
It's a very strained relationship.
Yeah, it should be a strained relationship.
Like, we're cool, but we're not that damn cool.
Yeah, we're not. We're cool. We're like, we come together and we're like, okay.
Yeah.
We ain't fighting each other.
Right.
We'll fight everyone else.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same thing with, like, Venom and Spider-Man. Like, there was that innate hate.
Yeah, we're both Spider-esque.
But when it comes to certain people, like Carnage, okay, tag team, let's go.
Yeah, we'll fight him, and then together we'll exist.
Right. Afterwards, we'll give each other a little time, and then it's back to the same old shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that makes sense. But, yeah, I mean, you can't really just introduce vampires into the MCU out of fucking nowhere. I mean, you got werewolves, Man-Thing. There are dark creatures out there, apparently.
They tried so hard with, what was that black and white?
Oh, Werewolf by Night.
Yeah, Werewolf by Night that you and I watched, and we're like, okay, they're introducing a lot.
I mean, when you think about Doctor Strange, you're like, okay, so if magic exists, that means there has to be some kind of mysticism in the world. And if there's mysticism in the world, that means that Werewolf by Night makes sense. But again, you haven't seen anything past that. You've seen Doctor Strange, Doctor Strange 2,
but Doctor Strange 2 ended with magic.
Exactly.
Cutting open
a friggin' breach into realities.
Yeah.
So, still, he's going to do more multiversal stuff.
Yeah, but they need to stop the multiversal.
Well, that's what they're trying to do with Secret Wars. The end of the whole multiverse saga ends.
Thank you.
So we will
stick with a timeline. Like, let me know where the A breaks into 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
and then breaks back into A. That's what I want. Like, X-Men can break so easily into everything.
Yeah, but that could be the same thing with everybody. Every superhero team, the X-Men, Fantastic Four, the Avengers, they've all gone from doing multiversal stuff. They've gone into space. They've done Earthbound shit. They've gone, hell, even one of the teams that they called the Ultimates in the main timeline with Blue Marvel, Captain Marvel, Spectrum, America Chavez, and T'Challa have traveled through the multiverse and past the known unknown.
It's like the comics were breaking into 12 episode stints.
Right.
And they need to, with the movies, like, they tried to touch onto everything because of the fans, but the multiverse made it too expansive.
I don't think it became too expansive. I think the problem was they didn't keep a tight enough rein on what the plots were. They didn't. They didn't have everything kind of cohesively leading into something new that they knew was going to lead to something else or tied into something from the past.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they spread it too far.
I mean, yeah.
And now they have to bring it back together, like the OG Iron Man, which started all of this.
Yeah.
Everything. Like, they realized, oh shit, we got an opening with Iron Man. Because Robert Downey Jr. was perfect.
Again, and see, a lot of people were like, so I know we're off. I mean, we're still in the Marvel. We're still in the Marvel house, but we're
just pay attention.
But
pay attention.
Let's look at this. Some people will say, okay, Robert Downey Jr. had a very crazy drug-filled, jaily past.
Before.
Right, exactly, before. And they are like, but you guys did Jonathan Majors wrong. Yes and no. Jonathan Majors' problem started while he was still under contract by Disney. It's a negative eyesight.
Jonathan Majors as
a person, I don't have a problem with Jonathan Majors.
Yeah.
And again, his legal problems be damned. He was great for the role of Kang. Now, do I think he was still wrongly let go? Yes. Do I think Disney fucked up by letting him go? Yes.
Yeah.
But do I also think they probably dodged a bullet long-term wise?
At the same time, yes.
Yes. Now, like many other fans, I don't believe they should have jumped immediately into the multiverse so soon. That should have been something that should have came after their next big arc, whatever that might have been.
Yeah. Yeah.
That way you can really flesh out everything before...
Because they just jumped into, it's a multiverse, here's what happened, and like, Ant-Man jumped in and jumped out.
Yeah, So I think what really started this whole line going into the multiverse was the whole time travel.
Yeah. Time travel is the problem with most, unless you plan it out from beginning to end.
Right.
Which Marvel obviously did not do.
No.
From beginning to end. They went from like Ant-Man to Kang, and then Kang was like kind of a bad guy. I mean, like, he was a bad guy, but he was the bad guy of that movie. And then, but they made it out like, oh, Kang's going to be a bad guy for a while. But it didn't, I mean, because of Rufus.
Because of Rufus?
Stop it.
He's just chilling.
No, you leave my beautiful boy alone.
He's just chilling.
I know, but he was making a noise.
Okay, that's fine.
My Rufus.
Just okay.
Leave him alone a little bit.
Whatever.
Anyways, my dog Rufus has nothing to do with the timeline of Marvel. But Kang, I feel like they spread it out too far, and then they realized, oh shit, it's too far, and we gotta take Kang out. And so they tried to cut it down too far, but it was not in line with what they had planned.
Okay.
And so...
Let me try this. Let me try this.
Okay.
So, Kang was initially brought into play by Loki Season 1.
Yes.
As He Who Remains.
Yes.
Okay? So, he was the last Kang variant from the last big Kang war.
Yeah, and he was controlling the primary timeline.
So he's trying to keep that timeline intact. Cool. All right. Makes sense. He's not evil, but he's not great because his methods are meh.
He does whatever it takes to keep the primary timeline intact.
Now, we had Loki season 1. We had WandaVision.
I haven't seen second season of Loki.
Terrible. Get on it.
I know I'm the worst.
We had all these Marvel shows coming out. We had stuff like the Eternals, Spider-Man: Far From Home, Doctor Strange into the Multiverse of Madness, stuff like that. So we had a whole bunch of multiversal stuff going on at the same time. But Kang should have been very much like Thanos. Or if you're going to create Kang, have Kang pop up, but have it be variants, especially after he's killed at the end of Loki season 1, where, okay, now his variants are just about everywhere. Yeah. And have his variants kind of pop up, and maybe this variant isn't a huge threat, but he's easy enough for maybe one or two heroes in a movie
to take out each individual.
Right. So you had a Kang pop up in Ant-Man Quantumania.
Yeah, but the main Kang.
But, yeah, he was fucking Apex Predator style. Like, he was damn near all-powerful.
Yeah, and he should have been taken out by all the Marvel heroes at once.
Do I think they should have used hyper-timed ants to take him down? No. I do not believe that. I think it should have been an Ant-Man variant outside of our Scott Lang that helped Scott take him out. Then either disappeared or got killed.
It would be funny if they picked one guy to be the
antithesis,
the multiverse version of every other, like the basic. Like they chose like just a basic white guy to be the version of every other one.
But see, that was the thing.
That would be funny as shit. Like there's a Deadpool variant, and there's a Wolverine variant, and there's a Ant-Man variant, and there's a Captain America variant. That is all the same actor.
But see, that's what that
would be funny as shit.
But they did that. Look at Multiverse of Madness. Every Doctor Strange variant was still Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah.
But then you saw Spider-Man's variants, and they were Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire.
Yes!
Because we've already had those films.
Because we are loving those films.
And I don't mind that. My problem is...
I thought that was great.
When they bring... Because you know they have to still get rid of Kang before they give Doomsday...
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. back as Victor Von Doom.
Which was everyone shit their pants.
Some people are loving it. Some people are hating it. Some people are still on the fence.
I thought that it was exciting because I love Robert Downey
Now,
Jr.
I do not mind his recasting as Victor Von Doom from the Fantastic Four's universe. But I want to see, by Secret Wars, if not after Secret Wars, another actor take over the helm of Victor Von Doom, possibly being even more powerful than Robert Downey Jr.'s version of Victor Von Doom.
That's not going to happen.
Look,
you know that's not going to happen.
If they're going to keep listening to the fans, because again, they listen to the fans apparently super heavy because
they do listen.
I have not watched The Acolyte, but because of all the shit talk on the internet, Disney canceled The Acolyte outright. No season 2.
Yep.
Thanks to the fans. Or who were considering the audience.
Yeah.
So, me personally, if I'm listening to the fans, and Robert Downey Jr., yes, amazing, because he's not coming back for just Doctor Doom, he's coming back to do Tony Stark for 2 rides for Disney, and he's getting paid like $80 million fucking dollars.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, so he does 2 movies, he does 2 rides, and then he's done again, and we get a new Victor Von Doom in this whole new timeline, this soft reboot.
Yeah.
And he becomes maybe not a huge threat at first, but again, build him up like you build up Thanos. Yeah. Thanos was not a big threat. He was just a background character.
It should be as strong as Thanos. Because Dr. Doom, he has the wherewithal and the thought process to be as strong as Thanos. Like, Thanos went into space with his, fucking space stones and whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
But, like, he has the ability, like, he has the science and he has the magic from Doctor Strange to be a combination of, like, world-ending...
Yeah. I mean, the man is T'Challa being a sovereign. He is Iron Man with his technological capabilities, and he's Doctor Strange with his mysticism. So, I mean, this guy is literally a god amongst men.
Yeah.
One of the smartest people in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And he doesn't, again, he shouldn't be, like, straight out evil.
No.
It's just he has a different approach.
Correct. His perspective is not the same as every hero's. He will
Yeah.
do whatever it takes.
Like, I can't wait to see what they do with Fantastic Four.
Yes.
Please, don't fuck it up again.
Yeah.
Please.
That's fair.
Please don't fuck it up again, because I love Mr. Fantastic from Mr. Fantastic in Narcos.
Okay.
He was really...
Pedro Pascal on
Narcos. Pedro Pascal in that and in The Mandalorian.
Yes.
He was really good. But anyways, we were talking about Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yes, we talked about cameos, we talked about your favorite Wolverine, and now... Yeah.
Okay, so let's just... I knew we were going to bullshit. Anyways, cameos that they put in this movie were insane.
So many.
So many. Fucking Juggernaut.
Yes.
The
Russian from the Thomas Jane Punisher movie.
Yeah, and when Chris Evans shows up, and you're like, oh shit, it's Captain America. And they were like, psych!
Yep. For all those 90s, early 2000s babies who saw the Fantastic Four with Chris Evans as a Human Torch.
Yeah.
Yep.
Psych! And he pops up
kids.
and you're like, get the fuck out.
Yep.
And then Deadpool versus Wolverine, just straight out fight.
I am Marvel Jesus, you dull creature, and I will not be spack up.
Yeah. Yeah. It was...
Yeah.
It was fun.
I mean, we didn't get a whole Hulk Wolverine fight. Disney Marvel, if you're hearing this, we do want to see that fight.
Yeah, I would like to see that.
Oh man!
That
Also, if you're bringing out Red Hulk, because we've seen Red Hulk thanks to Harrison Ford for taking over the role, I want to see Green and Red smack the
shit out of each other.
Dog shit out of each other.
For like 15 solid minutes of destroying a city.
I mean, I don't care if you like pan off and like something else is going on, but I want to see like somebody's fucking green and or red body going flying in the air in the background
and destroying like skyscrapers,
everything,
like all of it.
Ground fucking yes. I want to see. That shit's got to be on the level of fucking.
Like, can you imagine being just like a common person in the Marvel universe? Like, you are fucked,
bro. It's like Attack on Titan.
Yeah. There is nothing you can do.
Yeah, you're a regular
person. You are fucked.
I'm sorry. What's that falling through the air? You're talking about a whole helicarrier? What's a helicarrier?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. As a Marvel like NPC,
you
are fucked.
Ultron's got a whole fucking crew of robots shooting.
You are fucked.
Coming through the houses? Okay, cool. Fuck, goddamn.
Yeah, you are fucked.
Yeah. It's like any other thing. If you're not extremely gifted in some way,
you are fucked. I will say it again. You are fucked.
Correct. Let's go back to Age of Ultron. No, was it Age of Ultron? No, it was Civil War.
Yeah.
Civil War. Yeah, the very opening sequence. And she lifts up freaking his crossbones, and he just goes boom and kills all those Wakandans.
Yep.
Not on purpose, it just happened.
Yeah. You are
fucked.
That's it.
Yep.
This is the way.
So,
you are fucked.
Let's see.
But Deadpool Wolverine.
Yeah.
Please, give me your opinion.
My overall opinion.
Because I will give you mine, and you will not be happy.
Now, my problem after thinking about it for a while.
Yeah.
The story just seemed not all there. And I mean, not to talk shit to Sean Livy or talk shit about Ryan Reynolds or whoever the writers were, but again, okay, Wade, you're given the opportunity to save your world. It's decaying because your anchor point died. Okay.
They don't explain Thor crying.
Yeah, exactly.
No, they never explain it.
Why is Thor crying?
Yeah, why is Thor crying over you?
Luckily, they reused that footage from The Dark World.
Yes.
Chris Hemsworth could have been in that movie.
Thank you, Chris. We all love you. You're fine.
So there's that.
Uh-huh.
Only for this guy, Paradox, to just be like, I'm just going to fucking destroy your timeline. Because...
Paradox is an asshole.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, he don't care.
So, okay, you go find a Wolverine, you're going to bring him back, and you're like, hey, I can avert this shit. And Paradox is still like, fuck you.
No.
Not going to happen. I got to use this time ripper to rip apart the fucking timeline.
Yeah.
Send you and Wolverine off to the fucking void, and then you cause all kinds of hell.
Yeah.
Manage to make friends with the bad guy, who is a evil sister
they have no idea what she's doing.
Just the evil version of Professor Xavier.
Yeah.
A fucking psychic who, instead of, just using her mind, like, I gotta do the hard work.
But she was a baby. When she was a baby.
Yeah, and Sylvie was like a young child when she got thrown into the void.
Yeah.
Fucking shitty.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why CBA? Why
all
do
the
this?
shitty versions of our favorite heroes were sent to the void because, like,
Psylocke.
They had the one episode where he was like, "Fuck you, Fox." I think they said it like probably like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, fuck you, Fox,
and fuck you, Fox.
And even talking to the Cavalrain, we'll treat you better than those shitheads down the block. Okay, so you just shit on DC and you just shit on Fox.
They do not care.
No, not at
fuck
this point.
Fox.
Yeah.
And like
even
fuck
the
DC.
Even the broken Fox thing out in the background.
In the
void. Yes.
In the void,
Like,
there's a 20th Century Fox broken ass.
Yeah, it's just fuck it.
Anyways, so continue. What was your opinion?
So besides the story, loved every cameo.
Yeah.
Loved that they gave us variants of Wolverine from so many different walks.
That was fun.
The villain, I'm just going to destroy everything so that only the void exists. Why? Alioth wants to eat everything in the void.
Yeah.
Eventually, you will be eaten. If there's nothing else to go into the void, you're going to
get eaten.
Not a great motivation. The Deadpool Corps, again, like we said it earlier, teaming up with her at the end was kind of dumb.
Yeah.
Why wasn't the Deadpool Corps helping Deadpool?
Yeah.
Because that's what happens in the comics.
Yeah.
That. Love that Wesley Snipes actually came back as Blade.
That was fun.
Daphne Keane keeping her role so fucking secretive. Yeah, I haven't even talked about it. And then, bam, she's in it.
Fun.
Jennifer Gardner coming back as Elektra.
Fun.
I was like, the Elektra movie was kind of crap.
It was crap, but the fact that you appeared again, it was like, thank you.
And she still has the skills with the fucking size.
You're right. And it was just like, it was for fun. Like, she joined not because her movie was amazing and she was trying to defend her honor.
But it was just a chance to come back.
Yeah, it was fun.
Channing Tatum finally getting his time to shine as Gambit. Yeah.
He was trash.
But visually,
he was fun. Yeah. His attacks and shit were great.
Yes.
Full on Gambit. Great. Because, let me tell you, my 2 favorite, X-Men were, Gambit and Nightcrawler. Those were my favorites.
I knew it.
You fucking knew it.
Yeah, of course.
And so when he came in as Gambit, I was like, great. But every time he opened his mouth, I was like, stop talking.
Yeah, it was hard. Funny to a certain extent, hearing him with the super Cajun accent.
So bad.
There's a guy on TikTok who just apparently has this weird connection to Gators, and he's Cajun, and I'm like, He could play Gambit.
Yeah,
He seems cool as
stop.
fuck.
Like Channing Tatum as the accent
I
of Gambit
think-
was terrible.
I think he has signed. I think he is signed on to come back in Secret Wars.
Stop.
Nope.
Stop.
It's the only iteration of Gambit that we have in this universe right now.
I love Gambit. I think Gambit and Nightcrawler are my favorite. But the last iteration of Nightcrawler and the last iteration of Gambit were terrible.
Are we talking about the kid from...
No, I'm talking about the adult that was in the
X2?
last X-Men movie.
X2?
Where he was like, I can't teleport where I can't see.
I mean, that's how he used to be.
Okay,
though,
I
so.
get it. But he was terrible. It didn't feel right.
Alan Cumming, I mean, for our first iteration, I mean, his opening scene in X2 was fucking amazing, though.
I don't remember because it was.
He literally fought off the Secret Service.
I blocked it out.
And almost killed the president.
I blocked it out because it was terrible.
Unalive the president, my bad.
No, eat shit. That is my go-to. Eat shit.
Okay.
But my point was, like I love Gambit and I love Nightcrawler, and he was obviously shitty, just like Elektra was shitty. Blade was great.
Yes.
He has been the only Blade, and he was an amazing Blade.
Yes.
But he got sent to the Void, and the fact that they came back as a jest to their old versions, fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
I thought
think it was
the
great.
cameos like Juggernaut and
again,
Pyro
yeah.
and all those were phenomenal. Chris Evans coming back as
Johnny Storm.
Human Torch.
Yeah.
So it was it was just to be funny.
Yeah.
And it's like he didn't do it for the money. He did it because it was funny as shit. And he knew it because he recorded that after credit scene. You know that he was just doing it to be funny as shit. And I appreciate that. Like, doing something because it's not canon, but because it's funny as shit. Like, thank you. I appreciate that. But, I mean, those are my favorites, but...
Alright. So, Deadpool and Wolverine, as a whole, start to finish, front to back.
Oh,
what are you rating it?
I'm going to give it the least of all three. I think that the first one was the best.
Obviously.
Second one was second best. Third one, I like the cameos were fun. That was the only thing that kept it afloat. Because, like, the story was very, very weak. I felt like the story was so lame. But the fact that they kept adding those cameos and those extra, like, oh, Wolverine put on his whole fucking mask. And Deadpool was throwing those jokes out the whole time. Like, hilarious. That is the only thing that kept this movie afloat. There was no solid story this entire time. I'm going to give it the third, like, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Only because it was the worst of all of the Deadpools.
Hey.
I know. Because, like, it was okay, but there were so many times where I was watching it and I was like, this is not anywhere near as good as the other ones. And, like, the second one had a story. The first one was focused on creating Deadpool. The third one was just, like, all about the cameos. That is all that mattered. More cameos. That is it. More cameos. That is it.
I think I'm still going to give it at least a solid 8.
Okay,
I'm gonna give it a
but
solid.
in comparison to the other Deadpool,
Now, again, I'm not gonna fight with you about the first one. The first one will always be the best Deadpool movie.
Yes.
When we're talking about the trilogy.
Yeah.
2, I don't think 2 had enough legs under it. My problem with 2 was you didn't really have a solid villain. Time was your villain.
Yeah, Time was your villain.
Okay, Cable's your bad guy first. And then, because Cable came back in time, Fire Fist, or at least the future of Fire Fist became your enemy.
Yeah.
But then by the end of the movie, Juggernaut was your main primary bad guy.
OG.
Yeah.
Juggernaut.
So I'm like, okay, you have 3
Yeah,
would-be...
which one is the real bad guy?
But Cable turns into your ally, so now it's just down to
Fire Fist
stopping Fire Fist's future from happening, and then Juggernaut because he's with the kid.
Yeah.
So, like, it became kind of like Eternals, where it's like, okay, the bad guys are the deviants, but it's not really the deviants. It's this guy, Icarus. But it's not really Icarus. It's the actual Celestials in total because they destroy planets. Because they have to be born from planets.
I feel like it's better than the third. Like, the third was just about showing the cameos.
The third was all about fan service.
That was it.
And guess what? I'm perfectly fine with
it. The fan service was great.
I'm perfectly fine.
But it did not do any service to the entire universe as a whole. That's my opinion.
I can't.
Okay.
I mean,
for me, it's the third of all 3. I think that
I'll put it in solid second place and 2 at third.
Okay. I would put 2 at second, and like even as
so you would literally put it in line, be like, first is the best, second's all right, and then third is the worst.
Yeah, the third was the worst, only because the third was like not about story; it was about fan service and funny. That was it. And I love fan service and funny. That is, like, I love it. But, like, give me a solid story to, like, solidify your whole movie.
I only allow it because now we know that Deadpool, Wolverine, X-23, they're all now solidified in the MCU.
Yeah.
And so we have the basis of, again, what can happen in Secret Wars.
But they haven't even, like, solidified X-Men yet.
No.
And X-Men is such a huge part
of
Marvel.
What happens in Doomsday and then happens in Secret Wars is really going to set the stage for what's going to happen next for
because they need a solid Fantastic Four and they need a solid X-Men in order for Doom to make a big impact.
Again, if he's coming from the Fantastic Four's universe, once we see Fantastic Four, it's going to be downhill from there.
Yeah, they better do good with Fantastic
I don't think it's going to be a problem. Like I said, the only issue that's going to happen is, like, a lot of people are like, why is Galactus their first villain? Technically won't be, because this is kind of like Spider-Man, where you're not coming in at the beginning of their powers. You're coming in after they've acquired their powers.
Oh, is that what their
yes.
plan is? Okay, that's fine.
So again, it's like
they did Civil War. Good with Spider-Man.
Exactly, you just like introduce a kid.
Complain. So they can do Fantastic Four in the middle of the powers, and then continue the story
exactly because they're coming from that universe to the main MCU because of whatever happens in that movie.
Yeah,
so they'll become a part of our timeline inadvertently, and then from there we're going to go spiraling down into Doomsday.
I still would like Jim to be my Mr. Fantastic.
If Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom is the cause of the death of multiple Kangs because we have to cleanse the slates.
Yes, sorry.
It makes it even more prominent that he is a huge issue.
Yeah. He needs to be a issue as bad as Thanos in order to take any effect. Like, he needs to not only be like, oh, sorry, America is going to be destroyed. Like, no, he needs to be like, oh shit, his shit is so bad, the world is going to be, and not only the world, but like
the universe
and multiple timelines are going to be fucked because of him. So Robert Downey Jr., I hope that you're as good as Endgame.
Oh.
Like, I hope you can lead to an end that is as good as Endgame. Because that fucking ending with Captain America and, like, everybody fighting together, God, against Thanos, so good.
Yes.
So good. But they've been cutting back, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I mean, this year, I think Deadpool is literally the only Marvel
The only one all year.
And then next year, I think we're going back to about 3.
Yeah. And that's fine. Take your time.
That's
Unlike DC, who's just like, give me the money. Here's another Batman. Here's another fucking Superman. Whatever.
Yeah.
Eat shit.
When we're talking about DC, I'm hoping that James Gunn is the crowning jewel to help that universe possibly thrive just as well as the MCU.
I hope. I honestly, like, I'm not as huge a fan of DC as I am Marvel, but I hope that they can step it up.
This is the first time you're going to see a movie version of Mr. Terrific. The first time you're going to see a movie version of Hawk Girl. The first time you're going to see Guy Gardner actually as a fucking Green Lantern in any media outside of cartoons or comic books. You're going to see Metamorpho, a character who is not often seen. I mean, you've seen him in cartoons, you've seen him in comic books, but you haven't seen him in live action. So it's going to be interesting. And they're using some people who have already been a part of the DC stuff before.
Yeah.
So it should be interesting.
Well, I think we've gone long enough, but you're rating Deadpool and Wolverine as second overall.
Yes.
I'm rating it as third.
Yes.
Overall. Because I think it was trash in comparison because they just threw the fan service in. That was all that held this movie together. Fan service. Anyways, Jay, where can they find us?
You can find us at kjandapodcast@gmail.com. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Threads. Don't forget, we have YouTube content. Kevin is playing the games. And sometimes we put our actual podcast episodes over there.
That's right!
So, don't forget to find us on all your favorite podcast sites. Good Pods, Spotify, Apple, Podbean, whatever. Find us. Listen to us. Rate us. Give us 5 stars. We need the 5 stars. We need to get noticed. We want to get noticed by people. Don't forget that we also are on Patreon, KJNA Podcast. We got at least 6 hours of bonus content for you. If you want more content, join the Patreon and we will gladly make more content. Anything that you want, we will make. We'll do it.
That's it!
Just want to donate, buy me a coffee, KJNA Podcast. Don't forget that you can call us at 858-848.
5562.
Yes, 5562. KJNA Pod. Or KJNA.
That's it. KJNA.
Also, W Energy. Keeps you
That's it!
no jitters.
Still, no jitters. I did really like the W that we got.
Yes, we need to get some more.
We do.
Don't forget, if you do make an order at W, KJ&A for 10% off your order.
That's it. Thank you so much for listening.
We love you guys.
To this episode. We love you.
Good night.
Goodbye.